What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. We are continuing on with the Jeep Wrangler King of the Hammers build, and it's time to start working on the exhaust. So now's the perfect time to do it. We can still separate the tub from the frame, so we have plenty of room to get in here and build out an exhaust. So not only do we need to build an exhaust that's gonna sound good, fit good, and perform good, we also need to make sure that this thing can survive and physically stay attached during one of the hardest off-road races in the world. So we have pretty much all the parts needed to build an exhaust system here, starting with our Holley cast stainless exhaust manifolds, our gaskets, a bunch of V-band clamps, some really compact Flowmaster Outlaw race mufflers, and a full U-fit exhaust. This is stainless 3-inch diameter. So we have all the ingredients in the recipe. All we have left to do is put this stuff together and build a beautiful exhaust. We're gonna start at the beginning, which is our exhaust manifolds on the engine. So I went with the Holley Hooker cast stainless steel exhaust manifolds. Not only do these look good, they're not gonna rust, and we shouldn't have to worry about these cracking whatsoever. So we're gonna start off with these, get these installed on the engine with our manifolds and a set of ARP exhaust header bolts. So we're gonna get these on. We have a weld flange that attaches to our manifold. This is what we are gonna hook up our tubing to. And we also get a set of gaskets for those, but we're not gonna throw those in until we've built the exhaust completely. So let's go ahead, install these manifolds, get them torqued down, and we can start building off those, because we do need to figure out one of the tightest fit on this exhaust setup is going to be right when the manifolds come down. Our downpipes on this side, we need to watch out for our drive shaft, and over here on the passenger side, we need to watch out for our upper link and the starter. And when our pipes leave our exhaust manifolds, we want to make sure everything clears, especially at full bump on the axle. Over here on the passenger side, I was bolting down the manifold, and it looks like our collector down here is actually hitting the starter right there on the solenoid. Now luckily this is the MSD starter, so we can clock it just a little bit. So I'm gonna pop the starter off, see how much we can clock it, just to get enough clearance down here so we can finish snugging up the manifold. So we have the first piece tacked up, designed, ready to be welded in. So coming off the manifold flange right there, went from an adapter from 2.5, which is the diameter on the flange, up to 3-inch, all stainless stuff. And all we did on that adapter, as you can tell, we angled it. Just put that in the bandsaw, cut it at an angle, and that's kind of dictating the clearance on how far it kicks away from our drive shaft right there. So we need to kick it angling up and kind of out. And then we cut a piece of our bent tubing and tack welded it up. So the plan is to put this on. We're gonna chop here on the green mark, put a V-band clamp, and then go back to our muffler. So the exhaust work can be tricky. I mean, it's not fun by any means, but you take it slow, you see what bends you need to make, you cut. It's definitely a tedious process. And then when we're working with stainless like this, it's a little bit different. I went ahead and swapped over to a stainless spool in the MIG, in the miller over there. So we should be set up. We're gonna clean all these up, weld them, and then hopefully everything fits.
Maybe back it off in here, right there, like that. All right.
The driver's side is mocked up, so it's time to start and do the exact same thing over on the passenger side, starting off with our reducer, in our case an increaser. But luckily the only thing we have on this side is just the link to worry about, so we can tuck it in and then almost do a straight shot back, because we don't have a drive shaft to worry about, so we don't have to kick it out as far. So we're just gonna come down, find that angle, Bring this straight back in the middle. The same thing with our muffler centered in between our skid plates or our cross members, and then end it right here at the back. So with this one piece, that little 45-degree bend, and this piece kicking it off, should be a pretty simple design on this side. Just like that, we have both sides of the exhaust tacked up and done. So it's a very, very basic design. You know, right off the manifolds, we curve down, go straight through the muffler, and come back here for the turn downs. So for the turn downs, we just put 90s on them. This is going to shoot the exhaust, hopefully right out the side, you know, kind of in front of the tire. That way we're not stirring dust up, you know, under the Jeep, and then trying to go all the way back would be a nightmare shooting over the link. So I'm happy with where that's at. We are going to drop the body, confirm fitment. At this point, you know, we could either weld it up, but Mike has a buddy who's really good at TIG welding. So we're gonna have his buddy TIG weld it up, and we'll bring it back and bolt it up. Emma is up here in the shop today to help out, do some exhaust work. It's a teacher work day. So we're gonna knock some stuff out. There's a few things I've added since we got this back. One of them being the Cool It Thermotech shield. So this is a heat shield. They offer them in various lengths, and the end goal is to do it all the way back to the muffler. So this is the 1 foot section. They're like 40 bucks per foot, so it adds up a little bit, but these are much more effective at cooling that radiant heat opposed to just wrapping the pipes. So it only goes on the top half. We leave a little air gap, but it really is gonna help prevent our floorboard from heating up way too much, because we're not going for a Sunday cruise. This is gonna be hours of racing. These are going to get extremely hot. So we have another one to put over on our driver's side, and we ordered a 2 foot section to go all the way back to the muffler. Now, since we're here, we'll take a look at these mounts. These are the silicone exhaust hanger mounts. You don't have to put them in double shear like I did. Typically, you would just do it like this, weld this into the exhaust, and mount this up to the chassis. These are really good because it prevents a lot more movement compared to your traditional hanger. And we're gonna be bouncing all over the place, and I don't want this exhaust to break. So this mount, putting it in double shear, the silicone is not gonna melt, and it's gonna give us just enough, you know, flexibility for this exhaust to be happy. But we're gonna mount them both right here on the back cross member. If we have to, we can mount one right here, but the distance between the V-band and the mount and our manifolds, I don't think there's really enough distance between these two to give us too much play. But that is a lot of talking. Where'd my helper go? Ah, you're sitting in the seat? You cozy over there? You practicing? Yeah. So I haven't showed them yet, but we do have a set of PRP seats, and we're gonna check those out in a little bit. Those are nice. But with all of that being said, let's grab our heat shield and get it. Let's go ahead and get this on the driver's side. You ready? Yeah. Let's go, high five. Just put it through both, and then put it all the way through this side.
I'm doing it.
Good. So Emma had an amazing idea. We had just finished up this side right here, and I realized I never showed you the inside. So we'll go ahead and pull it back on. Uh-oh, we lost a clamp, Em. So on the outside, we do have the aluminum, but the inside, we actually have this fiberglass material. Emma's hooking this back up because she had a wonderful idea, or she realized that once we put this on, that we wouldn't be able to see the name. So over here, we have the Cool It sticker logo, and we had it facing back, but whenever the body was down, we wouldn't be able to see it. So if we flip it this way, you'll be able to see the words from the fender well. Little details like that. Is that right, Emma? That's what makes a difference? I actually like that. So now we can peek through and see that we have some nice Cool It Thermotechs. Are we gonna do the other side too? What do you think? Should I do that side as well?
Yes.
All right. Create more work for me.
Hand me the tool.
Now that we have both exhaust mounts on, these pipes aren't going anywhere. I'm literally shaking the chassis before our exhaust has any movement. Now, the good thing is, while it's nice and tight, the silicone mounts are gonna absorb any really small impacts. So we shouldn't get too many vibrations and our exhaust hopefully won't crack off. So that is one job that is pretty much completed. All we have left to do on the exhaust is weld in our O2 sensor bung and finish off wrapping the rest with heat shield once that comes in. Well, we have some good news and some bad news. We'll start off with the good news. The good news is our O2 sensor bung hole is welded in. And the bad news is that I am now operating at 0.5% efficiency. So unfortunately, I tore, what did I do? I separated my
collarbone from your AC joint.
So my
Like
collarbone
it came off.
from the AC joint in my left shoulder here is separated. And I don't really exactly know what that means, but it's not good. It hurts a lot. And unfortunately, I might need surgery. We're gonna find out in a few days, but I am gonna be doing the rest of this one-handed, which means Cassie
worry,
kind of
I'm
has to be up here in videos. You know, luckily between Cassie and Mike, we are still going to get this done. I don't know how long this is going to take me to recover. The doctor said, you know what, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. But in the matter of a couple days, I'm already able to kind of wiggle it around. I don't know if that's because I'm on the loopy meds or if because I'm healing, but either way, we are going to finish this Jeep and we'll talk a little bit in the next video about what's...
This is getting done. Like that is not, for anyone out there wondering if it's gonna get done on time, it's getting finished. Like that
it's getting finished. Like it's just a shoulder. It hurts a lot and I am limited in mobility, but it's getting done. We still have plenty of time.
Yeah.
It's just a minor setback. So...
And it's all Ben's fault.
Oh, it's 100% my fault. So a little backstory on what actually happened. So we have a dog, Shadow. You've probably seen him in a few videos. He's the black Belgian Malinois. And he needs a lot of exercise. For those of you who know Belgian Malinois, they're extremely energetic dogs. I am not an extremely energetic person. So to exercise him, I hop on the e-bike, ride around the yard, and he chases me because he doesn't like bikes. But it's great exercise for him. Now, unfortunately, over the past year, he's gotten faster, which means I have to drive the bike faster.
And usually I'm in the yard, Ben, slow down, Ben, slow
Usually
down.
Cassie's the one like, slow down, you're gonna get hurt. In the back of my head, I say, okay, let's slow down because I'm gonna get hurt. She didn't say it this time. I was going as fast as I could down the hill, probably about 23, 24 miles an hour. That's what the bike tops out at. And I hit a few bumps in the yard. Back end got light, lifted up, rode a little Indo on the front wheels for about 3 seconds, and I went over the handlebars, and the rest is history. Hit my shoulder on the ground, and now we're here.
It'll be so, to talk to you with your hand, even though it's in the sling. Like you can't not.
I have to. It's just me. So we are here, and we are gonna wrap up this video with some exhaust wrap. Not wrap, but this is the
shield.
Once again, another Cool It
2-foot shield.
2-foot shield for the muffler. Now on this side, the driver's side, I might not do it because we do have the factory heat shield here, so that's gonna block a lot of it. And I'm being cheap because the 2-foot section is like,
more expensive, like
it's like
80
60
bucks.
bucks.
Yeah.
So this is 40, that's like 60. And since we have that heat shield, I'll probably end up doing it, but we're running out of time for this video.
Mike too, he's gonna be getting all hot.
Well, this is going on Mike's side.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we are gonna try to get this installed tonight to finish up this video. So this section to go over the muffler is 2 foot long, 6 inches wide, and then we got 4-inch clamps opposed to the standard 3-inch clamps for the exhaust. There is one thing I wanted to mention, and that is about exhaust with V8. So a lot of the times, you know, this is a true dual setup, What you really should try to do with a V8 is add a crossover pipe. So either an X or an H pipe which would, in our case, would just go straight across here. Now, typically you want to do that before the mufflers. That's going to give you more power. It's going to sound better. Not more power, but more torque. It's going to sound a lot better. But in our case, we have nowhere to put it before the mufflers. We would have to go over the transmission or under. So we might be missing out on a little bit of torque, but in our case, there is just no way to put a crossover pipe before the muffler. We could do it right back here after the transfer case, but there's absolutely no reason to do an H pipe after the mufflers. So we are finishing this up. Like on the JK, I have an H pipe. Cassie's has a single. They meet up in the middle and go one way. So that's kind of acting as an H pipe. I'm rambling on. I wish we could start it up in this video, but we don't have the fuel system. We don't have the engine management system. We don't have anything. So we're just gonna have to hope this sounds good. Let's get this sleeve on and wrap up this video, guys. Cassie, you ready? I like this. I'll film you, you do the work.
Oh, hot. Okay, so did y'all put them on before and slide it on, or did you take it over there and put them on?
I mean, I'll just say Emma, our 6-year-old, was able to figure it out.
I remember watching
Burn.
y'all.
Yeah, we got to slide them on.
Slide them on. Okay, so you just slide them on?
Yeah, so I'll tell you the exact same way I told Emma. You just have to, you slide this under, and then you do it on the second one as well. But you have to say, I did it.
She did say that. It was
She
so
said, I
cute,
did it.
though.
I was like, oh, high five.
I don't know.
Oh, so if you guys have any questions about the build or anything you want to see in specifics, let me know down in the comments. You know, I've had some pretty good questions about things, and I love questions because I like answering them. If anybody has any specific question about the race Jeep or Jeeps in general, let me know in the comments below. And I think this can be beneficial. This whole video series should be beneficial to a lot of people. You know, maybe not if you're doing a bunch of bolt-ons on your Jeep, but if you are looking to see like what is out there other than the bolt-on kits, what can you make yourselves? Whether you're building a, you know, rock crawler Jeep, street-driven Jeep, buggy, KOH build, a lot of this does translate over to Jeep. So hopefully you're learning something along in this process. I'm rambling on again. I'm feeling pretty good. So, oh, you're almost done.
That's stuck. Yes, I am.
7 minutes and 27 seconds.
Compare me to Emma.
Well, I mean, she is ours, so
I mean,
she's like 50% yours. All right, guys, let's get this exhaust finished up. So what Cassie's doing is righty-tighty in this. Hose clamping. Start it with on top and then flip her around over.
I'll give her the old flip in a minute.
Oh, and check out these new cool Harbor Freight chairs. These are the Icon chairs, super comfy. Had to do it because the old ones are highly used. And as you can tell, my big butt actually started putting a little smiley face in the chair. So we actually got two. As I was always looking around the shop wondering where my chairs were because they're black, but these stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, sometimes you lose them.
I'm like, where's my chair? This thing, I can sit around here and bark orders super easy. Hey, are those hose clamps tightened yet? What is taking so long? And if you start to fall, it actually has like a self-righting feature. It's actually anti-flippable. Just found that out right there. Boom.
Voila. All right.
Well, we are gonna.
Like that? How do you like that?
I like that a lot.
I'm
Let's
tighten
actually
down, cut down.
let's scoot this back, maybe a hair, right there. Boom. So I think you guys get the gist of what's going on in this video. The exhaust is pretty much done at this point. Like always, thanks for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next week.
And you'll see me next week now too.
Yeah, Cassie's kind of forced into into helping. You know, you got to work your 9 to 8 and then come up here and work your 8 to 12. So, all right, guys.
Later.
We will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Later.